Yeah, hi! Welcome to Cool Photoshop. Now, in this video we're going to look at removing difficult objects from an image. Now this is a picture taken in Melbourne, Australia, and it shows a tram. It's your typical city sort of cityscape. Quite a nice colourful tram. It's a little dull. And of course we've got this dude right in the middle of the image. So what we're going to try to do is to get rid of him. Unfortunately, from our point of view, the tram behind him is obscured, so that's going to make things a bit difficult. Okay. Now, the most obvious way, I'll just get ready here. The most obvious way to remove someone is to use the clone stamp tool. And we sample part of an image, like we'll try it over here. We'll sample this handrail here, and we'll go over here, and we will just draw down like this and replicate that front door with the back. But you see what happens when we get to the second handrail? The problem with this is perspective. I'll just keep going here to show you where we go wrong. You can see that perspective means that the handrails in the door at the back are closer together to the ones at the front. Our clone stamp doesn't understand this, so there's not much we can do about that. So what we'll do, we'll press undo, and we'll have to look at another method. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pen tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle up here. If I just click once and then click again, I get a straight line between the two. And I'm going to draw a rough rectangle. There. Okay, now if I get my direct selection tool, I can manipulate these four nodes, give myself roughly a rectangle. In fact, I might come down, I better sample this step down here as well. We'll bring it down. Okay. Now, go into my paths. And you can't see it, it's off the screen, but I am making a selection from that tool. Okay, I now have a selection there. I will copy and paste it. See, I've now got that chunk of tram which should roughly match the back part, and I'll put it over top of this dude who's in the way. And I'll reduce the opacity a little so that I can see through it. Okay, I'll just line up. Yeah, we'll zoom in a bit. This is a little bit difficult for me because I'm doing it on a small screen so that you can see what's going on. Normally I'd have this really big on a big screen. But there we go. And now we will transform it, and I'm going to use the distort, which means I can move any corner as I like. And what I've got to try to do is I've got to try to line up all of these straight lines that come through, and see, got to line up the windows, got to line up the base of the window, the steps, everything just right. And every time I move one corner, it actually affects all the others too, so this could take quite a bit of trial and error. We'll just sort of get it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're about right. Just about every parallel line that goes through there is pretty much in line. I mean, I could spend hours getting this just right, but we don't have that long, so we'll get it close to right. There we go. Turn the opacity back up, and you can see that most of this dude has now disappeared. Right, these things mostly line up. There's a bit of a colour cast, slightly different colour down the back there, but that's okay. So now what I do is I put a layer mask on here. I'll just move it over there so we can see. Grab a brush, make sure it's black, and make it pretty fuzzy. And I'll just blend the edges here so that you can't really see the join. Okay, I'll make that brush a bit bigger, which gives me a bit more of a fuzzy edge there. Alright. Okay, now you can see we're not quite lined up properly at the bottom. I'll just move that up there so that I can see what's going on. I'll drag the layer mask to the trash. Do it again, it's better, and apply it. Okay, now you can see that we actually have a curve down there, so I'm going to make a very rough selection there and just delete that. See, so we've got that angle there. Alright. Okay, so what we will do now is we will take our burn tool, which darkens, and we'll just very carefully burn this area in here, and you can see that it's just sort of brings it up to the same level as the rest of the tram. Okay, right, we zoom out, have a look. We've just got this pair of legs to get rid of. Now we can go to our clone stamp tool, and if we click there and line it up, if we line it up the same direction as the shadow, here we go, you'll see that it generally removes it nicely. Okay, now for these ones down here we have to do it at a slightly different level. See, I've lined it up on that mark in the road for that lot, and now here I'll line it up on the white line. Well, that's a little bit offline, but I'll let that one go. Just put a little bit in here. Here we go. Right, so the dude's gone. We've now just got the tram. I think the next thing to do here is flatten the image. Now I'll duplicate it because I'm going to be dealing with the image itself. This is a little trick to help things out. Use overlay, duplicate it again, and this time we'll use screen, and now we just manipulate these two layers, screen and overlay, until we get it to about where we want it to be. Alright, and then collapse it, and there you go. Now this is a shortened video for publishing to the net. You can get the full version in higher resolution at theelectricartist.com.